Love Shack. Chapter 1. Derek. The pugs aren't participating in the wedding. I insisted. It was a sentence I could have gone my whole life without saying. Jude stood in the doorway to our bedroom, giving me a pouty look. His melty brown eyes made my stomach turn to goo, but I stayed strong. No pugs. But look at them, he said with a wink, holding one pup under each arm. They look so good in little tuxedos. Just think of the photos in People magazine. I pointed an index finger at him. Don't test me, Bluebell. He simpered apologies to our 2 fur babies and leaned over to set them down. Springsteen chased Patsy Cline down the hallway toward the kitchen, where I could hear Ollie fixing something for lunch. Knowing her, she'd slather some peanut butter and Kong toys for both dogs. It was how I suspected she retained their undying devotion, despite the hours I spent walking them. Jude closed the door and came closer. His hair was down around his shoulders, which always made me hot. Hell, the man could be shaved bald and I'd still get hard for him every time I saw him. Come here, I grunted, reaching for the front of his shirt and yanking him against me. Need some Jude love. Jude's arms came around my neck, and he hopped up, wrapping his legs around me and leaning in for a kiss as my hands reached to support his ass. After we kissed for a few minutes, Jude pulled back with a serious look on his face. You know I was kidding about the dogs, right? I kissed his forehead and lowered him to the ground. I do. I remember what you said about Carrie Underwood doing it. All dog does is take away from the bride. But I'm hardly a bride. Jude climbed up onto our big bed and sat cross-legged. You okay with all the plans? I mean, we don't have to have big flashy wedding or anything. I really just want to make sure my family is there. That's all. I sat on the edge of the bed and yanked him into my lap until he was straddling me. The feeling of his small, tight body against my larger one was as familiar as the scent of our laundry. I'm happy with our plans. Don't worry about me. All I care about is you being there in the love shack with the words, I do, ready on your tongue. Jude smiled, his cheeks pinking up a little. We've been over this. It's not a love shack. It's kind of like a gazebo made of flowers. But also, I do. He leaned in to see how the words tasted in my mouth. Little bit like heaven. Good. Then we're all set, I assured him. Besides, there's going to be prime rib there, and lots of it. That's all I need. Jude swatted my chest. Animal. Savage. When our children can't breathe anymore because beef cows farted us off this planet, you'll be sorry. My heart beat double time. You want a family, Bluebell? Kids, I mean? He looked up at me through his lashes as if nervous about my reaction. I mean, yeah. Kind of. But it's also fine if you don't. I squeezed him so hard the air squeaked out of him. Me too. I blurted into his hair while trying to loosen my grip to keep him alive. So much me too. I want a family with you so badly. I want to do it better than my parents did, Jude. I want to give our kids everything. He looked at me with watery eyes. Can we use a surrogate? Maybe have little baby wolves?